Hi there, I'm just doing a quick live to see what is in this Scrawlrbox. This particular one is £18.95 a month, and we'll see what's inside it. So hi, people beginning to join in. Just going to see what's inside this box. I've received quite a lot of these over the months, and the idea is that there is actually get it, so you get paper, you get medium, you get a little magazine and so forth. And what I found is that it's really good for experimenting with something that you wouldn't necessarily try before, and I've certainly done that with things like charcoals and so on that I haven't used before, certain types of ink and so on. And in the previous box, I got this really nice pencil, which is a Faber Castell, and it's all textured and everything, and it's just really nice. So this is the September 2022 box. It just arrived today, so I'll open it up. So we can put that to one side, which is the important stuff. There is a magazine, there is an artwork, for some inspiration, and there is then a small sort of trial pad of paper. So this is Frisk, and it's cartridge paper, and there are 10 sheets. So that's fairly good paper. So we'll come back to these bits in a wee minute. But what they tend to do is wrap all the actual goodies up in tissue paper. So we'll just open that up then. We'll see what's inside. Oh, now, what they always give you is a sticker, and I must admit, I'm not really a sticker person. They give you a prompt, so this one's fascinating folklore, and they then give you the actual art materials. Now, this, I would say, is actually a really nice package, because it's pet artist pens, gel markers by Faber Castell. So these are actually really nice pens. I have coveted them in the past. I've never actually bought any. I've got Pro markers, which are very similar, but I've never actually had the Faber Castell ones, so that is really nice. I will definitely use them. And they always tend to come with some sort of pencil. So this is a Lyra pencil. I do like the colours on it, the red, white and the blue. It's very sort of 1970s in a way, like that. And they also come with a sweetie. Now, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I shouldn't really eat these. And as you could see from my desk in my studio, I've actually got a growing collection of sweets that I've never eaten from Scrawlrboxes. So I'll put these to one side, save my teeth and keep my blood sugar down. And the other thing that there is a Technique rubber here, which is a Derwent one. So really, this box looks as though it's great. You've got the Faber Castell pet artist pens. You've got Derwent rubber, the pencil obviously, and the Frisk paper. And I think that's quite good. It feels like good value given the price, and that I think that's part of the thing, but I think the other part of it is obviously just experimenting with things that you haven't used before. So just opening up the magazine, we have a sheet on the various tools that are within the box. We then have a featured artist. Teegerido, and then tips on various techniques and so on. And then art that has been created with previous boxes, and then a little bit more about Faber Castell and the pens and so on. So I think that's quite useful. I'm just trying to see whether they actually say whether they are water-based or alcohol-based. I'm pretty sure that they must be alcohol-based, but I've not spotted anything that actually confirms that. The big thing about alcohol-based pens is obviously that they can bleed through quite easily. But a few months back, I actually got another box and just trying to lay my hands on it, and it actually came with a slightly different type of paper, which was actually smooth white paper. No, it's not that one. I've got too many sheets of paper. Yeah, I am not managing to lay my hands on it. I've got... oh, I finally spotted it. Yeah. A few months ago, I got this particular type of paper, which is marker paper, and you could see that this was drawn using alcohol pens, and those were actually Copics, and you could see that although it's come through on the back of the sheet, it hasn't bled through to the other page, so that was quite useful. Whether or not the cartridge paper performs the same, I don't know. But the great thing is that because I've had previous boxes as well, I've got that type of paper. I've also got acrylic paper, other types of drawing paper and so on as well. I must admit this is totally different from the sort of things that I create, but I really do admire the work that is in that illustration, so that's great. And then the cartridge paper, well, I suppose cartridge paper is a bit like a Ford Model T. It does what it does, and it's got a slight tooth on it, so that will be interesting. So I hope that everybody has sort of enjoyed this wee view of Scrawlrbox, this month's Scrawlrbox. I think that that's some really good supplies. I'll definitely be doing something with them in the coming days and weeks, and you'll have to have a look on Instagram to see how they turn out. If you've enjoyed this little video, why not click follow? Why not click like? I will post it, and it would be great to hear your comments about the contents of this little box, So I'll just tidy things up a little bit, which is also a way of you remembering what's in them. So we've got the pencil, the rubber, the paper, the magazine, and then the prize are these markers. And I must admit, I am really chuffed with these. I think that's definitely a great addition to my collection. Now, interestingly, on the back here, it says that they are water-based ink. Now, quite often, I was talking about them maybe being alcohol-based, but actually quite often when I do my paintings and drawings and so on, I do tend to use water-based pens and then use a water brush pen and just sort of move the colour around from the pen onto the paper. So that's actually really quite useful because that works with the way that I create these sort of paintings. So I'll just box up the final wee bits, and I'll just leave you with some sketches that I did at the weekend because I was doing some sketching workshops in Aberdeen for the Union Street Conservation Area Regeneration Scheme, and you could see that this is the Castlegate area in Aberdeen, and that is the Salvation Army Citadel. That building is listed, but the Modernist building in the background is also a listed building. The Old Blackfriars pub, which sits on the Castlegate, that was quite a quick drawing because it was beginning to get really cold, and it was beginning to rain, and it was getting towards the end of the day. This one, again, not that far away from that. That is the Athenaeum, which is also just lies off the Castlegate, and again, that was a little quick version of a drawing. And then, you know, the things that I was tending to use in the sketching workshop were these moleskin sketchbooks, but this is my favourite drawing, and this is from the Green in Aberdeen looking towards St Nicholas Kirk, and that there is Georgian Aberdeen in the form of Union Street, but the street that we are standing on is medieval, and that leads up to the church and then ultimately to Old Aberdeen. But that was all created in biro pen, a little bit of Fude nibbed fountain pen, and then an acrylic blue ink wash. So, you know, when you look at this, you could see how those pens that have come into the Scrawlrbox this month can actually add little bits of spot colour to drawings like this, which I really enjoy. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope that this has been informative, and that the Scrawlrbox that we looked at is, you know, it's interesting to see the contents and interesting to learn more about it. So thank you very much. Good night.